So you thought about it, you wrote it, you sat on it, you decided to release it. That is probably a cycle that a lot of Black women go through, both with who we are in personality, but also, and I think it was Nicole that talked about the voice that speaks to us and tells us that what we're thinking about or what we're looking at, it talks to us in the language of disapproval and dissent and not good enough, right? Like no matter what
All of
your
that.
alter ego that says that is called, they all
Yeah.
came from the same line, which is to cause us to doubt something we're sitting on. And I can imagine that there's sisters listening right now that are sitting on something that they need to get resolved because it's at stake as we think about what the next phase of living as a Black woman in America should look like. What would be your advice about what's at stake and why, if there's a sister sitting out there with something related to that in her spirit, she's got our whole energy to go out there and put it on the front lawn of whoever needs to see it?
Yeah. Listen, as women, and especially as Black women, we all have these struggles. And as women in general, I think we can all kind of relate to one another. There's this language that we all speak like, yeah, I know exactly what you're feeling. And I think we're all feeling it right now. And when people tell me they're not sure what to do, whether to vote, whether their vote matters, I ask them, how can you not? We've asked for this moment for a really long time. And we're here, and now we're wishy-washy about whether or not we want to support one of our own. This isn't really just about Joe Biden. As Black women, we have a Black woman right now who has an opportunity to represent us in a really big way. We have a Black woman who has an opportunity to become the next president of the United States of America. And we're not sure whether we want to vote her into office. That's confusing to me. You ask what's at stake? Everything's at stake. What's at stake? Our reproductive rights are at stake. Our civil rights are at stake. Our everything that we believe in, our human rights are at stake. It's not just about Black people. It's about the way that all people right now are being treated. It's about the way lives right now, immigrants, the little children who have been separated from their from their parents. What kind of human beings are we right now? It's about people dying of a virus that is killing hundreds of thousands of people, and we're joking about it. There's so much at stake right now with this election, and it baffles me how we're seeing reality through two different lenses. I don't really understand that. And my goal isn't really to sway anyone. It has absolutely nothing to do with party. It's not about being a Democrat or a Republican. It's about standing up for justice and for equality. And I would think that that's something as Black people and as women especially that we can't compromise on, and that we should all come together on.
Sister Kathleen, what touched me, and you said a lot in there, what touched me was this reference to everything that those that came before us had to sacrifice without even having what we have. Gives you the obligation to not be over here all wishy-washy or prioritizing convenience or prioritizing personal comfort, self-preservation, whatsoever it may be. Those that fought to get us here didn't even have what we have. And it is not about whether or not you feel like it, because it ain't about you, boo. Right? It's about the baton you were handed when you got here, and the further ahead you need to hand it when you go. And if you ain't getting up to go vote for yourself, do it for your grandbaby, your goddaughter, your friend's niece, whoever it may be, because if you leave the baton where you picked it up, the race doesn't go ahead. Right? And we've stalled
all of that. Yes.
That everybody did before us. And I am not trying to be self-righteous, because I am a permanent resident and cannot vote. Right. And I remember when my daughter got to voting age, I don't know how to vote. I had never been in there, but I took her little behind to the polling station, told the lady who was looking at me all upside my head that you are going to walk my baby through this polling place so she knows how to vote. I never have. She gonna know. And they try to do a whole bunch of stuff. Let's just say my baby got shown the polling places. We have an obligation.
It's an
obligation to drive
Yes.
forward, and you don't get to prioritize convenience. Because if all of the people before us had prioritized convenience and easy path and a clear and understood PowerPoint presentation to get done what they got done, then you and me would be somewhere else in life.
Amen. Amen. Everything you said, amen to it all. Again, I mean, it's an obligation. And I think that sometimes we in the Black community sometimes feel like we just want a platform to be able to speak up. You know, if they don't do this for me, I'm going to do this. Well, right now, let's just get there. Let's at least get in office first, and then we can start putting our demands. But right now, there's too much at stake to play around with this and to say, I'm going to hold out if I don't get this. Right now, we just have to get there. Let's get in the door, get a foot in the door, and then we can come together and demand change. But let's just get there. We can't do it if we don't make a change right now. And our lives are really at stake right now.
And what we as Black women know how to really do really well is put our foot in some food and in somebody's earth.
Yes.
So take that same foot you ready to put in those parts of your lives, put it into your civic engagement, do it even if you don't want to, because somebody did it so that you can wake up and make the choice. Sis, we met a little while ago. Love and light to you. Thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the courage. I wish my office had lights like that and a chair like that in the background, but I'll talk to Essence about that. Have a good night. We look forward to continuing to see what you create on our behalf. And thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you so much. God bless everyone. And yes, get out and vote if you haven't already. Let's party tomorrow.
Listen, whatever dance makes you feel good.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.